everyone, it's Diane. I've got another great stitch tutorial for you today. Really pretty stitch. It's actually called the Drunken Granny Stitch. And if you look closely, you can see that they are little granny stitches, but they're slightly wonky, hence the name, the Drunken Granny Stitch. It is very, very easy stitch to do. It's a 1 row repeat, and as always, I will walk you through step by step every stitch from the beginning, so you can learn really easily and quickly how to make this stitch. It's got an open, airy feel to it. Really pretty. Looks the same on both sides, so great for blankets, scarves and shawls. Very, very pretty, and works up, again, it's another one that works up quite quickly. Really pretty. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, I've got quite a few beautiful stitch tutorials just like this one, and also some patterns that you also might like to try for yourself. Okay, so let's get on with this gorgeous stitch. You can make this stitch in any size or weight of yarn that you prefer, but today I'm using a regular double knit weight yarn in light grey, and I'm using a 5.0 millimeter size crochet hook. Okay, so we're going to get started with a regular slip knot. And our foundation chain that you need for this stitch is any multiple of 5. So you do your regular chain stitch, that's yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. So make your foundation chain in multiples or any multiple of 5, and do your chain to the width that you want your project to be. So pause the video here, make your foundation chain, and I will meet you ready to do row 1. So for row 1, we're going to make 3 double crochet stitches into the 5th chain from the hook. So don't count this one on the hook. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And in this 5th stitch, we're going to yarn over and put your hook into that stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. And we're going to do that 2 more times. So yarn over, put your hook into the same stitch that you've just worked. So back into that same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. and one more time, yarn over, put your hook back into that same stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through two, yarn over, pull through two. So that's 3 double crochet stitches and your chain, turning chain here. Now we're going to chain 2. 1, 2. And back into the same stitch again, this one here, put one more double crochet stitch. So yarn over, hook back into that same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through two, yarn over, pull through two. And that's what your work should look like. Now we're going to skip 4 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, and in the 5th one we're going to do the same again. So yarn over, make 3 double crochet stitches. That's 1. All in the same stitch. That's 2. And 3. Then we chain 2. 1, 2, and in the same stitch put another double crochet. So yarn over, hook back into the same stitch, make one more double crochet stitch. There we go. And we're going to do this all the way along. So now we skip 4 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4. And in the next one, we're going to put another double crochet. So yarn over. If it helps to yarn over before you start counting, that sometimes helps. So if you yarn over, ready for your double crochet stitch, then count 1, 2, 3, 4, and in the next, hook in, make a double crochet stitch. Now we want to make 3 in total. So 2 more. So you've got 3 double crochet stitches in a row there. Then chain 2. And again, in the same stitch again, place one more double crochet stitch. There There we go, and you can see we're starting to make little clusters of these granny stitches with a chain 2 in between. So we're going to repeat this exactly like this all the way along your foundation chain. So yarn over, ready for your stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and in the 5th one, just check that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and in the next, hook in, and we're going to make 3 double crochet stitches. So that's 1, all in the same stitch. 2, and 3, then chain 2 and make 1 more double crochet stitch back into that same stitch. So continue like this, making these little granny clusters until you have 5 chains left at the end of the row. So I'll show you one more time. So yarn over, ready for your double crochet, then count 1, 2, 3, 4, and in the next place 3 double crochet stitches. All into that same stitch. So there's your 3 double crochet stitches, then chain 2 and into that same stitch again, 1 more double crochet. Okay, so pause the video here, continue all the way along, just like this, and I'll meet you when you've got 5 chains left on your foundation row. Okay, so we're approaching the end of row 1 and we have 5 chains left from the foundation row. So we're going to skip 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and to finish the row, yarn over and place a double crochet into the last stitch. Just 1 double crochet to finish row 1. Okay, so let's move on to row 2. Chain 2, 1, 2, and turn your work. And if you have a look at your work here, you want to find your chain 2 spaces, and if you look, here's your first 3 double crochet stitches, chain 2 and double crochet. We are going to work into that chain 2 space here. and we're going to do exactly the same as row 1. So yarn over and place 3 double crochet stitches into this chain 2 space. So hook into the space, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. We want 3 of those all into that chain 2 space. So that's 2. And keep scooching your stitches along to the right. So you've got 3 double crochet stitches into that chain 2 space. Now we chain 2, scooch your stitches along to the right and place 1 more double crochet stitch into that same space. So yarn over, hook in, make 1 more double crochet stitch. There we go. Just grab some more wool. Okay, so we're going to repeat that all the way along the row. Now we're going to find the next chain 2 space, which is here. So we're going to go straight over there, yarn over, put your hook straight into that chain 2 space. So we skip these here, hook into this chain 2 space here, make your next 3 double crochet stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3. So you've got 3 double crochet stitches there, chain 2, then scooch your stitches up to the right a little, then make 1 more double crochet into the same space. There you go. There's your next little granny cluster. And if you can see, you can start to eyeball where the next lot goes. It's into there. So we skip over these 3 double crochets here and work into that next chain 2 space with your next 3 double crochet stitches. So yarn over, hook straight into that next chain 2 space and make 3 double crochet stitches. Then chain 2 and then scooch your stitches along if you need to. Make 1 more double crochet into that same space. So I'll show you what it's starting to look like. We're going to continue this exactly like this all the way along this row. So if you can see, have a look at your work and you can see this is the next stitch you're going to work into, that chain 2 space from the row below. So yarn over, straight in there with your next 3 double crochet stitches. So you've got 3 double crochet stitches. So you chain 2, and then 1 more double crochet into the same space. Okay, so continue like that all the way across the row, and I'll meet you as you are approaching the end of the row here, and you've made your last granny cluster into this space here. So pause the video and I'll meet you at the end of this row. Okay, so we're coming to the end of row 2, and this is what it's starting to look like, and we're approaching this last granny cluster from the row below. So to finish this row and every row from now on, you've got your 3 double crochet stitches that you did on row 1. And to finish the row, you yarn over and find the top of this first double crochet stitch that you did, or if you want to count it from this way, it will be the 3rd. 1, 2, 3. Hook into the top of that stitch, yarn over and make a double crochet stitch. There you go, and that finishes the row nice and straight. So that's the end of row 2, and that row 2 is the same row you do over and over and over again until you reach the length you want your project to be. So it's a 1 row repeat, repeating row 2. Row 1 was a bit of a setup row, and row 2 is the one you repeat. So what we do at the beginning of every row from now on, we chain 2. 1, 2. And then turn your work around. Have a look at your work and you can see your chain 2 space. We're going to work into there with our 3 double crochets. So yarn over, hook into that space and make 3 double crochet stitches. Scoot your stitches up to the right. There you go, that's 3 double crochet stitches, chain 2, and put 1 more double crochet stitch into the same space. There you go. And if you look at your work, we're going to go straight over to this next chain 2 space. So skip over these and yarn over, make your next double crochet stitch into the next chain 2 space. That's 1, 2 and 3, chain 2 and double crochet into the same space. Okay, and then come straight over to your, so yarn over, come straight over to your next chain 2 space and do your next little granny clusters. That's 1, then chain 2 and another double crochet into the same space. There we go, and then straight away yarn over, hook into that next chain 2 space and make your next lot of granny cluster. Chain 2, 1 more double crochet, okay, so I think you have the idea. Continue all the way along your row, placing your little granny clusters into your chain 2 spaces all the way along. I will meet you at the end of this row and just show you one more time how to finish the row. So we're approaching the end of the row, and when you get to where you've just got the last granny cluster on the end, we're going to place a double crochet, count 1, 2, 3, and you want the 3rd double crochet stitch, yarn over, put your hook into the top of that 3rd double crochet stitch and make 1 double crochet. And that's how you finish every single row from now on. Okay, that is how you make this stitch basically. You repeat row 2 over and over again. You can rewind this video if that helps you to remind you how to do row 2. I'm going to go ahead now and do a few more rows and show you what that looks like in just a moment. So here you can see I've done a few more rows. I think there's about 12 rows here of repeating row 2. So that's what you need to do. Just keep repeating row 2 over and over again until your project reaches the length that you want it to be. And as you can see, I'll bring the camera in slightly. Pretty pattern, very, very pretty pattern. And they're like little granny stitch, but they're slightly wonky. hence the name, the Drunken Granny Stitch. But it is a very pretty stitch. So keep going and till your project is as long as you want it to be. And once it is, all you need to do to finish off is you've finished your last row, putting in your last double crochet to finish the row, then yarn over, pull through some wool, pull through a little bit, enough so you can sew in your ends, and then grab some scissors and snip off your yarn, and then pull that through. Just snug it down nice and tight. And then you've got a couple of ends just to sew in. So just grab your darning needle and just sew your wool in and out of a few stitches. And then sort of double back on yourself there slightly. Go through one or two more stitches. Grab your scissors and then snip off the end, and continue with that with any, if you've done it in different colours, you'll have a few more ends to sew in. I need to sew in this end as well. But that is basically your Drunken Granny Stitch. I hope this video was helpful to you. Don't forget to give this a big thumbs up if you like this video and it's been helpful to you. So happy crocheting, and I will see you again next time.